I didn't feel like I had a choice over my thoughts. I felt like everything was moving on automatic. This mean voice in my head had just totally taken a hold on me, and it drove me insane. So I recommitted myself to meditation. I decided to meditate every single day, twice a day. So 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. It sounds cliche, but in the weeks after that, I felt so amazing. I was traveling for 2 weeks. I had a massive project, actually, the biggest project of the year going on. I got very little sleep because I traveled and there was a different time zone and we had an event I was attending. And yet I was like emotionally stable and happy almost all of the time. It's almost like all the negative stuff, all of the drama, all of the bullshit, all of the resistance, it just seemed to bounce and slide off me.
Hey there, gorgeous. Welcome to the Leonie Gabriela podcast, the place to get inspired to manifest more money the feminine way, feel worthy, love yourself, and learn how to be abundantly supported for your great work, as well as create your life from a deep state of overflow, connection, abundance, pleasure, and bliss. Join the conversations with me and my amazing guests on how to live life fully, make a massive difference, have a lot of fun, and yes, make a ton of money doing what you love. Welcome.
Hello there, gorgeous. It's Leonie Gabriela, and you're watching my show, Leonie Gabriela TV. I'm so stoked that you're here. This is the place where I'm going to be sharing tips, inspiration, really on how to build a life where you're unapologetically true to yourself and you're allowing yourself to really be unapologetically spiritual, sexy, and wildly successful doing what you love. So, make yourself at home. Really excited to share with you today some insights on meditation. Got a question today from a lady, and she asked, Leonie, how do you meditate and create an ongoing meditation practice? I've heard you talked about it, and I always notice myself falling off the wagon. Please help. So, great question. And I feel this is something that so many of us struggle with, right? I remember specifically myself, I went for a walk with a great friend of mine. And this is something that I love to do. We go out in beautiful nature in Slovenia. We hike up this mountain. It takes us like 2 hours to come back. And it was just gorgeous. And she's a beautiful person. And I'm noticing myself going for a walk with her. And even though we were in this stunning spot, having a great conversation, I could not enjoy myself. So it was like no matter what we were speaking about, it was constantly as if there was something wrong in my head, or I was somehow unhappy, or I felt like I had to change something. And there was this constant cycle of self-bashing. And I literally felt my inner monkey mind was just totally on the loudspeaker. I felt so restless that I couldn't even fully listen to her and be present with her. So when that was the case, obviously she noticed because she's a good friend, and she asked me to just share with her out loud what was present. So I did. And here's what I shared. So this is my monkey mind on the loudspeaker. Maybe I should change the project I'm working on. I really feel like I need to adjust my diet. I should eat healthier and I should meditate a lot more. I should drink 2 liters of celery juice every day. I need to start speaking the way I'm doing my business right now. It's really not working out in the best way. My relationship isn't good. I need to adjust some things here. I'm not sure if I'm able to really teach this. I wonder if people might think I'm stupid. Oh, and by the way, you suck. Whoa, right? Pretty freaking intense. And I noticed as I shared this, I was like, wow, this is all going on inside of me. Damn. And my friend looked at me and she had her eyes open and she looked me straight in the eye. She said, Leonie, why are you doing this to yourself? And as she said it, I had to cry because honestly, I didn't feel like I had a choice over my thoughts. I felt like everything was moving on automatic. This mean voice in my head had just totally taken a hold on me, and it drove me insane. And in that moment, I didn't immediately find a solution to it, but we were on our way down the mountain. What I didn't know was that I no longer wanted to live like this. And in the next couple of days, I really started asking myself, okay, well, how can I experience more peace in my head? What can I do to ground myself more? And I had already in the past done some kind of meditation. I did, on top of that, all sorts of things to be aligned. It's not like I didn't do any of this or wasn't familiar with it. However, I was not being consistent. And I often fooled myself by saying like, oh, I'm already feeling quite good today, so maybe I don't need to meditate. But clearly I needed to, because I really could no longer continue like this. And in that moment, the couple days after that, I remembered a friend of my love, Clement, and he had quite an extraordinary story. I remember him telling us once. He was actually an accountant, and he wasn't really into personal development or anything. However, he committed himself to a meditation practice after somebody recommended it to him. He did a course online and he said, you know what, I'm just going to be doing this, right? So he did. For one whole year, he meditated every single day for 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. And I remember being really impressed with that. It was like, wow, how can somebody like actually be that consistent, right? I hadn't really been that consistent with anything in my life. So, and I remember clearly having this conversation with him where he shared how it changed so much for him. He became so much more focused, got way more done. He didn't get into fights with his partner or his business associates anymore. And he shared that overall his quality of life increased so much. And so remembering this, one very important thing he shared the key thing here is to be consistent. Because when you do it once, when you do it twice, when you do it a couple times, it doesn't really make so much of a difference. But it's when it starts to add up, you know, the more often you do it, that the magic really starts to happen. So, okay, I thought, let's give that a try again. And at this point, I was like, I just don't want to live in any other way anymore. I really felt like I hit a certain threshold and I was so clear on what needed to be done. And I didn't know if it was really going to work. I didn't know if it was going to work out, but I decided to recommit. So I recommitted myself to meditation. I decided to meditate every single day, twice a day. So 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, and to just do it no matter what. Okay. And you know what? It sounds cliche, but in the weeks after that, I felt so amazing. So the first week was bumpy, which is to be expected. But after that, I was traveling for 2 weeks. I had a massive project, actually the biggest project of the year going on. I got very little sleep because I traveled and there was a different time zone and we had an event I was attending. And yet I was like emotionally stable and happy almost all of the time. It's almost like all the negative stuff, all of the drama, all of the bullshit, all of the resistance, it just seemed to bounce and slide off me. And I was just able to stay focused and move towards the thing that I wanted. I felt so much more relaxed. So for any of you, if you're thinking, I would like to create a more consistent meditation practice, how do I do that? There's 3 steps that I want to share with you that I feel are absolutely crucial in order to truly get the benefits and to be able to stick to your practice long term. All right, so you ready? Let's start with step number 1. First of all, you want to get clear on why do you want to meditate? Why do you want to meditate? For me personally, now I'm clear it's essential. When I do not meditate, I go slightly insane. So there's a minimum for me of doing it at least every morning, but ideally in the morning and in the evening. But I really recommend you actually explore, what is it that is causing you to have this desire to meditate, and really letting go of it as one more thing on your to-do list, one more thing as like something you have to tick off. Start shifting, get off of this idea of having to do something and get into the why, start to deeply realize how much more powerful your life's going to be when, whatever it is in your case, like maybe you're not getting upset all the time, or you're not bashing yourself up all the time. And so here's what I want you to dive into and really ask yourself, how do you want to feel on an ongoing basis? What do you want to experience? I'm not saying everything's going to be all fairy tales, like once you start meditating. However, I have noticed the quality of life overall generally really going up for me. So do you want to get angry with yourself every time you're feeling emotions, or do you want to find a better way to handle it? So really getting into that. And there's this quote I want to add in here. It's from Tony Robbins, who I love. He says, "The quality of your life is the quality of your emotions." So the quality of your life is the quality of your emotions. And it's so true. If we're not able to handle our emotions, if we're not able to feel grounded within ourselves, no matter what happens, even if sadness hits us, doesn't mean you're going to feel perfect all the time, but you're able to deal with it, right? You know what I'm talking about. So for me, it was really committing to that and truly getting the impact. I also realized if I really want to grow, if I want to grow my income, if I want to be able to receive more love, abundance, success, all of those beautiful things, I'm going to have to find a way to deal with the voice in my head that's constantly bashing me, telling I'm not doing a good enough job, or that everything sucks, or I should just stop and lay in bed, right? So if you resonate with that, you know what I'm talking about. So I want you to really get clear and actually journal on some of these questions. Why do you want to meditate? Why do you want to meditate? What do you think it's going to do for you in your life? What are the negative impacts that you're currently experiencing of not meditating? Are you noticing yourself just fighting with your partner over nothing? Are you noticing yourself just bashing yourself all the time? Do you feel so identified with your mind that you can't even get any way through, and you're not able to truly connect to what you're here to bring, right? So how is it affecting you if you don't meditate? How is it affecting other people? How is it affecting the world? How is it affecting your friends? How is it affecting your clients? How is it affecting your family? So when you get really clear on, you feeling good and grounded is not just good for yourself, it's good for other people too. Because if you're always in your head, you can't serve, right? You can't be there for your family. You're just going to be, if you're anything like me, I'm just a little bitch when I'm not meditating. So that's just me being real honest with you. So getting really clear on why you want to meditate and what your motivation is, and really getting clear on what's important to you in your life and how you want to live. So that's step number one. Step number two is be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on yourself. I think the biggest mistake that I was making, and I see so many people make, is that they meditate to try to get rid of their thoughts. Well, guess what? You probably already heard it, but I'm telling you again, you cannot do that. You can't get rid of your thoughts. When you do that, you're in an endless battle that you're never going to win. So what has changed everything for me is to actually accept that sometimes often I feel super restless. And there's all of these things going through me, and I can't seem to calm down. And instead of getting rid of that and getting upset about it, I accept it. So I accept my restlessness. I accept my anger. I accept my frustration. I accept all of my emotions as they pop up. Because when I fight with that, or I fight against it, I'm actually fighting my thoughts, which aren't truly real in the first place, right? So it becomes this uphill battle, which you're never going to win. So now I actually accept all of those feelings, and I actually go into my meditation. And the first part of my meditation, often, first 10 minutes, I'm all over the place. And back in the day, that's when I would then stop, right? And I would take a break and I would say, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not feeling good. Let me just go read a book, or this is not making any difference anyway. I'm too restless. Let me go water the plants or go eat something or whatever. And so I now just sit with that and I observe. It becomes easier with time, trust me. And I really just let it be. And what helps me is to just remember to allow and to find a focal point, to find like either a focus on my breath, to do a body scan. And yeah, sometimes it takes me a million times to get back to my breath before I can stay there for even 3 seconds. But I stay with it and I do that again and again. And that is the practice. So meditation is not about changing what is, it's about accepting and learning to be with yourself. And I have found the more radically accepting and loving I am towards myself, the easier it is to meditate and the better I feel. So if right now, in this moment, you're feeling like, that sounds great, Leonie, but I don't know if that's such a good idea and my mind is still so loud and you're like feeling totally wrapped up into it, I want to invite you to just realize that's who's thinking that. That's not you thinking that. Those are your thoughts as well. So you're in communication with your thoughts. So you're still in the thought area. And as long as you're in that thought area, you're in a conversation you're never going to win. So, and if it truly feels overwhelming for you to like sit down and then meditate and focus on your body sensations, do it while you're moving. Can you do it right now in this moment? Can you just, you can close your eyes for a second. Can you just feel your body sitting there? Can you notice the gravity? Your weight on your chair or couch or wherever you're at. Become aware of any sounds you might hear. Just notice them. Maybe just notice your breathing. Don't need to change it or do anything about it. Just notice. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it fast or slow? Notice your mood for a moment. Are you anxious or calm? Do you feel grounded? Or are you fidgety? Just notice. So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring yourself back. That was just a super shorty right there. So the reason I love meditation so much is because it brings us to a space that's beyond the mind. And some of my most favorite questions to ask myself during meditation are these types of questions. What's my mood right now? And just notice. What are my thoughts right now? What sounds am I hearing in this moment? What's the response I'm feeling in my body to it? And so what it does, especially the question, what's my mood right now? Sort of like a pattern interrupt. And it actually helps me come back here and observe what's happening. All right. So that was step number 2. Be gentle on yourself. Accept whatever's present. That's really the whole point of the meditation. All right. Curious if that's helpful, share with me in the comments. I want to share then step number 3. This is so important. Commit. Now that you're clear on your why, and how this is going to influence your life and how it's going to influence you when you don't do it. And when you've really committed to being loving, and you're starting to see maybe some of the difference between your mind and what you really want, your soul, commit to a simple practice. So, this meditation thing, it's not a one-off thing. It's not something like just like with eating healthy, you do it once and you're good. No, you have to do it on a consistent basis. So for me personally, it's 15 minutes in the morning is my absolute minimum. I do this pretty much every single day, unless for some weird reason I have to get up at 3 a.m. to travel or something, that I might do it later in the day. But I think I'm doing 99% of every day since a couple months now. So it feels amazing, but you don't have to start there. Okay. You can start with as little as just taking 5 minutes. If that feels too much, start with 2 minutes of breathing, and you just grab your phone, set a timer, and just breathe. And another trick too, not to go too much into your head about it, whenever you're done with a meditation, just decide that was enough. You're good. If you come out of the meditation and your mind's like, you didn't do a good job, you need to go change it, and like, we need to do it even more, that's also your mind, right? So recognize that. All right, so commit to a simple practice. So right now, decide how often, how long, and when you're going to meditate. What feels aligned for you? What feels easy? When I started out, I said, let's do 5 minutes every morning. Did 5 minutes every morning, felt great. Now it's 15 minutes every morning and often in the evening. So decide on how often, how long, and when you will meditate and what feels really good for you. So I hope this helps. Hope this got you a little bit more grounded. This is such a powerful practice. It just so helps me go beyond all the mental bullshit that I think we all pick up along the journey of our life. And we're confronted with so many things and bombarded with so many ideas. So this can be such a powerful way for you to ground and then manifest from that clean state and really do the work you're here to do from that energy. Now it's up to you. I really want you, if you're listening to this as a podcast, come over to my blog, leoniegabriela.com/Leonie-TV. If you're on Leonie TV, leave a comment. I don't want you to just be a passive listener. There's way too many people do that. Really use this and learn from this. So I'd love to hear from you. Please share with me. Why do you want to meditate? What's your reason? What happens when you don't do it? So that's step number 1. Why do you want to meditate? And what is the new meditation habit you're committing to? So when and where and when you'll do it. I can't wait to hear from you. Leave a comment below. And if you would like to get more free good stuff like visualizations, guided meditations, exercises, videos, trainings, and personal updates and inspiration, then sign up for my VIP email list. This is really the place where I share all of the behind the scenes on how I have been growing my business, attracted a beautiful love relationship, and really created a life where I'm unapologetically true to myself and having so much fun doing what I love. So come on over to leoniegabriela.com and you can sign up for VIP updates there. That's all for now. I love you so much. Remember, you can trust yourself. The world needs your message, and you get to have so much fun while being, doing, and having it all. Can't wait to see you so very soon, and much love. Mwah.